I consider this channel to be an entertainment channel, a video game entertainment channel, whatever you call it, but there's a time where the entertainment and the fun must stop. And I want to talk about this because I feel like it needs to be talked about. If you haven't heard, there was a bullying incident in South Fayette in which a special ed student was bullied and he didn't receive any help. Basically what happened was that not only did the teacher not help, the principal didn't help, and eventually he was charged with a crime that he should not have been charged for and didn't commit at all. And this is just seriously fucked up. And I want to talk about this because I feel like this is an issue that needs to be addressed, and that it also hits home to me. It's something that matters to me. Anyway, this happened in South Fayette, and for those who don't know, South Fayette is near Pittsburgh, and I grew up in Pittsburgh for 13 years, and I moved to Ohio, and so the fact that this happened so close to Pittsburgh, that this happened so close to my hometown, that makes me sad. And also the fact that the kid got bullied, that is just the worst part of it, except that, no one helped him. And so what happened, the incident was that he was in his math class, and the math class he's in was a math class for special education students and behavioral problem kids. Now, right there, that's where the problem starts, okay? This is where the bullshit starts to pile on. This is where it gets fucked up, because you shouldn't put people that have behavioral problems with special ed students. That's just the worst idea ever. Because these students, the special ed students, they don't really have a way to defend themselves. They just don't do conflict, and then you put these guys in here that are going to bully them. And that's just the worst possible, thing. And so, and an example of what these kids did was that one of them slammed a book next to him, and to scare him. And now you're thinking, that's terrible. Well, here's where it gets really terrible. The teacher yells at the student and does nothing else. The student says, "What? I'm just trying to scare him," and then everybody laughs. Well, a group laughs. But anyway, the teacher does nothing after that. The teacher's just like, whatever. And then, so I don't know what the teacher's problem is. So the kid who got bullied, he went to a bunch of anti-bully sites and did research and decided that the best course of action for him would be to do an audio recording to show as evidence to the principal. And that was probably his best option. Fighting back might have been a bad idea for his case. Other cases it wouldn't be a bad idea for, but this case specifically, this is where the audio recording was a good idea. So he shows the audio recording to his mom. The mom, outraged, goes to the principal. The principal listens to it, and the most unbelievable thing happens where the principal calls the cops on the kid for wiretapping, which is the dumbest thing ever, because he claims that the public school is a private institution. No, it's not. Okay, I went to a Catholic school. That was a private institution. This, a public school anyone could go to, no. And so the cops, they dropped the charge slightly. They just got him for a different offense. It wasn't wiretapping, but they dropped the charge a little. But, still, and it was, instead of that, it was disorderly conduct. But still, the problem is the judge found the bullied kid guilty of disorderly conduct, even though he did nothing. He was being bullied. And that's the worst part of it, is that he was found guilty. And I can't imagine that sort of thing. That's where it gets really fucked up at. And it hits close to me. It hurts me because, one, that just means I lose even more faith in humanity. And second, I've been bullied before. When I moved to Ohio, I got bullied freshman year, and that's about it. Everything else has been fine so far. And then also, I remember back a year or two ago when we had this like meeting in the auditorium about bullying. One of the guidance counselors said that a special education student had been bullied at my school, and that's just unimaginable right there. That not only that it happened at my school once, but it also happens here. That's just terrible. And the fact that I have actual friends and acquaintances that are in my classes that are special needs students, that's the worst of it right there for me. But for this kid, like, it gets terrible and worse because of all the bullshit, all the fucked up like bits and pieces of this whole thing. And I want to read you the South Fayette School District's mission statement. It says that the mission of the South Fayette School District, in partnership with the community, is to cultivate academic, artistic, and athletic excellence by instilling a spirit of collaboration and communication to develop confident, ethical, and responsible leaders. That is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard, because clearly the leaders of your school can't do any of those things. They can't be ethical, they can't be responsible, they can't help a kid when he's down. They just kick him when he's down. And that's the worst thing about this, is that the leaders of the school, the people you turn to, principals and teachers, you're supposed to feel safe around them. And now, because of this incident, this kid, he won't be able to feel safe anymore at school or around the police. So the police are the people that you can trust, the people that are going to help you if something bad happens. And these police obviously did not help whatsoever, and that's just fucked up right there. And the charges are going to be reversed and dropped on the 29th. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It just shouldn't have. And they released a not a mission statement, but a press release on the 16th, so yesterday, which says that the South Fayette Township School District wishes to address recent reports in the local and national media concerning a student of the South Fayette Township School District. It is to be noted that certain information being disseminated by the media is inaccurate and or incomplete. The school district is legally precluded from commenting specifically in regards to these reports, as the issue involves a confidential student matter. The South Fayette Township School District follows its policies regarding harassment and bullying. I'm just going to stop right there because that's more bullshit than I can handle. Okay? You're just trying to cover your tails right now. You're just trying to cover your tracks. That's all you're trying to do. You're not trying to help. You're not trying to help at all. I mean, would it really hurt you that much to help the kid? Inaccurate or incomplete, who cares? Okay, if it's some of it's incomplete, some of it may be a little inaccurate, it still happened. It still clearly happened. There's enough evidence to point that this bullying did take place. There was an audio recording. And that you can't comment on it because it's a private student matter, well, then that's bad for you guys then. Makes you seem like terrible people. And you are terrible people for making this kid go through all this stuff. And it follows your policies. You never did once. You never did once through all this bullshit, and that's the fucked up part about it, ladies and gentlemen, is that they don't follow their own policies regarding bullying and harassment, and they just don't give a fuck about anybody except themselves. And that's how it is nowadays. That's how it is. And that's the sad truth right there. And I hate it, how it had to come like this. And then how this had to happen. I feel sorry, and I hope if that kid is watching this video by some miracle right now, I just want you to know that you don't only have a supporter in me, but you have a supporter in a lot of other people. We're all behind you. This was the worst thing to ever happen in your life, probably. And I am just appalled at these actions right now. Like, this is fucked up beyond belief. I don't see how, in any way, shape, or form, someone thought that it was a good idea to press charges to bully this kid at all. That was just the most despicable thing I've ever seen or heard. And that's how it is. You know, schools, they don't care anymore. They just don't. In my experiences with bullying, I went to a guidance counselor. I went to a teacher. They just talked to the student. That was it. Did that change anything? No. And you know what? Nothing's gonna. And what's gonna happen to the students? What's gonna happen to the bullies? That, you know, are they gonna be expelled? Are they gonna get in trouble? I hope so. And that leads to another problem. How are they gonna get in trouble? I don't know what the right cause of action is for this kind of thing at all. At my school, like, you would get suspended, but if it's like, and that was it, that you'd get suspended. And a cause for expulsion would be if you brought a weapon on school grounds. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Bullying should be way more serious. Not to say that the weapons wouldn't be serious, but still, the fact that all the physical and psychological pain that would be caused from it, you know, that should be also room for expulsion. But then again, these kids doing the bullying, they're going to want to be out of school. They're going to accept a suspension or something like that. So suspending or expelling them, that's just not going to help whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, if they get expelled, you know, that's going to mess up their future. But then again, they clearly just don't care about their future right now anyway. Honestly, if it was me, if I was running that school, I would have those kids spend detention every day, in-school suspension every day, and summer school. It takes as much time away from them as possible and put them into that school and make them sit there and make them waste their time there, because they clearly don't show respect to anyone but themselves. So, as the saying goes, you do the crime, you do the time. So they're going to have to spend... They should honestly maybe even be charged with a fine or like some prison sentence or something like that, but that might be a little extreme. I don't know. I don't know what to do in this situation. I've never, you know, been the authority figure in these things. And this is just the biggest heaping load of bullshit I've ever heard. The fact that the cops don't help the kid. The judge, the holder of truth and justice and the law, the person who is ultimately going to decide what's right and what's wrong in this country, in this society. He even agreed, you know, and that's the worst part of it. And I don't care who's in charge. The teacher should be fired. The principal should definitely be fired. The cops and the judge, all fucking fired. All of them. Go to the unemployment line. Have some soup. Because you clearly do not deserve anything you have gotten in life if you go as far as to not help this kid and make his life worse after all this traumatic incident. And this is just the worst display I've ever seen of anything. And to the kid again, I am sorry that this happened to you, and I hope that you can have a great life. You know, just live your life. Don't worry about these bullies. And again, if by any chance that the bullies actually do see this video, or just the or the teacher or the principal or those cops or the judge, if any of you guys see this video by a random chance, fuck you. I don't know what your problem is, but you all are fucking pieces of shit. And I mean that in the literally, because this is as low as you can go. This is the worst thing that this kid, he's going to be psychologically tormented. He's going to have memories of this event. It's never going to leave him. It's going to haunt him. And you caused that. I hope you feel bad, but you probably don't because you're without sympathy whatsoever. And I know there are a lot of trolls in the comments, and there are a lot of people on YouTube of different opinions. And you'll say, "Oh, I think the bullies had the right because or the principal, or it was wiretapping." Fuck you. If you're subscribed to my channel and you think that the kid deserved what he got, or do you think the bullies are innocent or something like that, just leave. I don't want you here, okay? The channel would be better without you. And that is the honest truth. I'm just it's worse when someone agrees with the wrong side in this. And it's clearly wrong. The bullying was clearly wrong. And with all these anti-bully messages going about school and on TV, all of it is just horseshit because none of it works. Tell the teacher, "Oh, you get talked to or suspended." Come back anyway. Bully again. And that's the worst part of it. There needs to be a drastic change in the education system of this country and the law enforcement side of this country. And I'm graduating soon, so it's not going to affect me as much. But it still hurts to know that bullshit like this whole fucked up situation, like stuff like this happens. And if nothing changes soon, we're all fucked. We honestly are. So I don't know how we can fix this. I don't know how we can ever, fix this as a whole, because there have been many cases in which there have been corrupt school officials, corrupt law enforcement officials. Like, nobody upholds the law correctly anymore. None whatsoever. And so that's all I have to say on the situation. It's fucked up, and even there are no words to describe how terrible this whole thing is, really. And to the kid, once again, hope you can get through this. And to the bullies and the law enforcement officers and the judge and the teacher and principal, you are all pieces of shit, and you deserve to be punished for at whatever level. I don't know. That's all I have to say. This is 18 minutes long. Yeah, but that's all I have to say on the whole matter. It's fucked up. Should have never happened, but it did. GTA 5 Stunt and Jump Fails coming out this weekend. That's something to look forward to. But besides that, talk to you later.